Leo. Leo. Legoland. um, Knocked up. How are you doing? Are there any August 8th Leos? Lionsgate Leos? Let me know your birth date. And we can link up everybody's birthday twin. I always think that's so cool when I find birthday twins. I have a lot of other people that I attract or am attracted to that are the same birthdays of like family or friends that I grew up with. And so I just keep finding that pattern. I think that's cool. I'm always looking for my birthday twin, May 18th. You probably won't be here. Maybe you will. I'm a Leo rising, so maybe you listen to your rising reading or your another placement reading and you are a Taurus as well. Either way, let's get started. All right. For your divine union, where are you at in this super fun journey? Your skin, oh yeah, your skin glows. Coldplay, Yellow. I was listening to the song from the movie Song 1, and it has an artist, something Johnny Tyler, but he sings a song, Your Yellow Dress. Your little yellow dress made me go ballistic. So it's like lots of yellow energy today in the morning of the shirt. So it was all yellow. Oh, I almost went for another shuffle there. I love this deck for shuffling. It's really easy to shuffle because the cards really hold their rigidity. The star fell. Uh-oh. Fallen star. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Aquarius energy. But that's the chair, I swear. King of Pentacles at the bottom. But this damn deck will sometimes, because they're slippery, it will just shoot off into nowhere. Okay, I'll take you. Alright, so let's see where you are. It was cloudy today. On a clear day, you can see tomorrow. That's a movie with Barbra Streisand. I just referenced Funny Girl with Barbra Streisand with Gemini's reading. But I've been getting a lot of Gemini and Leo energy, which is why I did you guys today. But yeah, that was always like a funny slogan. To be dealing with a Virgo, my sister and I used to laugh at that, and she is a Leo moon. All right. And then May 22nd is they're siblings, two of my dog's birthday. And that's the combination of my sister and my birthday. Which is September 22nd, May 18th. So it was like a whole thing. And they were born, there were six, oh, I said three. There were six of them, but they came out in pairs of three. So it was male, female, male, female, male, female. And that was a Leo, is their mom. And their dad, who just passed away, who was also a birthday twin of my dog that I had to put down earlier in the year that he was born. he's August 23rd. So he's just over the cusp line as a Virgo. So yeah, you could be dealing with a Virgo, getting a lot of Virgo energy. But there's nothing here really. But we'll see. All right, so we have the Three of Wands. There's a sort of link to these Three of Wands. Three of Wands is usually about, wands are usually about forward movement. But I get more like this is connected to the past. Now, I don't read for past connections. Like if you're trying to reconnect with somebody from your past, no. This is a divine union reading, right? So this is your divine path. This is about, it's a very difficult path, right? Which if you're attracted to the title, you already know that. But this is one where you are cutting out the bullshit, right? You're not if things don't serve you, you just have to, they can't be on your divine path. And sometimes it's unfortunate. This feels kind of like maybe siblings, or, you know, it could be, but the moon could be maternal energy, right? Something connected to your maternal energy that you are deciding to cut out, right? But it feels very attached to your, like, it's umbilical. And it could be your mother. Maybe you've lost a mother, or you're going to have to disconnect from a mother, or someone on your maternal bloodline, because it just feels like you're trying to move forward, but you have to, I don't know if you can hear all that, but 4 dogs live here. 4 dogs live here, and they're wrestling around. But with all the moon energy, yeah, it's like there's a lack of clarity. But see, the moon is really shining, and the sun, the sun, gives the moon its light, right? So it's like you in your all-knowing power, right? Your divine knowing, you've had this realization, like you just have to, you can't move on with whatever this is. Maybe you're moving away from home, your motherland, right? Maybe you're just moving somewhere else, and the Chariot's next to that. So I do get in the Six of Swords, right? So it's like there's a lot of traveling away from this energy, right? Traveling away from something that feels innate, something that feels just really connected to your birthplace, your birth and home. So we'll get there. And with the Virgo energy, she's, she has the Immaculate Conception, right? Virgo, Virgin Mary. She has the Immaculate Conception of the Son of God, right? Which is you, the Son. Maybe you are like the sun, the masculine sun, but you are represented by the sun in tarot, Leo. Why does it feel like I'm sort of, I don't know, it feels redundant. Like I feel like you're here because you're already familiar with this stuff, or maybe I feel this pull to kind of like, I don't want to say baby step you through, because that's, like degrading or whatever it sounds, but it does feel kind of like I'm just kind of like covering the bases, like you're a beginner at tarot. Like you're just getting involved in this because you've done this. You've cut out this other energy, and you've just recently realized yourself, your high self, right? Your divine path. And you're like, oh, I can't go that way if I have all this still attached to me. So this doesn't go with that, right? Anyway, so the Chariot and the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is like, it's like taking on a new idea, but you're moving with this. And sixes are balanced. Six is also the number of love. There's a sea sparrow outside. But yeah, see, they're leaving something like this burned down, and they're going up to this other land, and that's the moon as well. Is like, it's unknown, and see, the moon's even over this land here. All right, let's keep moving. All right, so, Two of Wands. This is a choice between two paths. This is that fork in the road, right? Should I stay or should I go? They're also like digging up garlic. Maybe you grew up in a very vampiric type, parasitic, 11:22 on the clock, very parasitic type upbringing, right? Like vampires don't like the sun, right? So maybe you just didn't really fit in. Maybe you were kind of the outcast for whatever reason, because you had these ideas, because you've known this when you're on, right? When you're a divine path. Leave it. Thank you. When you are a cycle breaker, right, which are the self-realized, like capital self, realized individuals, it's like you've known this your whole life. You were probably a very odd child, very like, maybe you were, you're to this, you're to that, which of course makes you feel like you're not enough later in life. So this person is like, they're digging, this is like shadow work, you're digging down into the core of yourself, like you're digging all the way back to the center of the earth, right? And there's like magma and sun, basically the sun inside the earth, right? You could have a Taurus mother or an earth sign mother, maybe a Virgo mother, but I do get more of like the sun is in the earth. So you're digging down in there, but there's all this garlic around you to kind of ward off the demons and the vampires and sort of like, just let me do my work. I need to do my work. And you guys are like blocking my chi, you know? What is that? You guys are, what does she say in Poltergeist? When she's clearing the house, she's like, you guys are jamming my frequencies, she says. Like, she's trying to like clear the house. She's trying to like observe the house and do the work. This like, this light work, essentially, to retrieve this child, who the child dies in real life, which is unfortunate. That's not a spoiler of the movie. If you haven't seen Poltergeist, what are you doing? Where have you been? You must be really new to all of this, to the world, because, yeah, the Poltergeist movie has been out for a while. But anyway, yeah, she's like, you're jamming my frequencies, like, get the fuck out of here. Because they're just hovering. There's some, like, hovering entity, lurking in the shadows. While you're trying to do shadow work, you could be dredging up a lot of stuff about your family that you don't want to admit, and that's what you're evaluating here. You're kind of like, oh god, fuck, I kind of knew that, but yeah, maybe there's a lot of toxicity there. There's a lot of impurity. They just want to take from you, because that's what happens when you're like an indigo child. Maybe you're an indigo child, third eye. You were really tapped in, and they didn't like, that made them uncomfortable. It's going to make demons uncomfortable. It's going to make vampires uncomfortable, right? And when you realize that you were born into that as a family, it's sort of, and you're on a 5D path, right? You're on an ethereal, astral, you're in another plane, right? Maybe you sleepwalked. Maybe you walked in your sleep a lot. Maybe you did astral projection before you knew that that was what it was. You have really vivid, active dreams. Maybe you did as a child and that was kind of snuffed out. And so you're kind of, maybe that's the energy that I'm getting, is you're returning to all of this divination. Maybe you were divining as a child, but you didn't have names for it. And so anytime you tried to explain what you were divining, people were like, this fucking child is crazy. Let's put them on Ritalin. Let's put them on drugs or medications, or let's put them in therapy, or let's just ignore them and neglect them. Yeah, maybe there was physical abuse, just punishment, right? Maybe you got kind of punished, like the Son of God. You were like crucified. You were sort of ostracized for being so divine. And so now that you're an adult, you're like a kid again. That's what happens with shadow work. You're digging through all that bullshit, and you're going back to, it's like brahmacharya, the way of the Brahma, is to excavate all that stuff, to purify yourself in all of the energy around you, and you sort of have to be almost monk-like, right? It is, and just very sacred, right? Sacral energy. There could be a lot of sexual energy that you've cleaned. Maybe you are celibate, or you're interested in celibacy or abstinence, or yeah, like taking away like porn and things like that. Yeah, because children who are like, you're in a fantasy world, right? When we're master manifestors as children, we're completely pure. We just came from the ethers. So we're really close to that. And then when we try to talk about it, people are like, that doesn't make sense. I didn't read that in a book. I didn't hear that from somebody in the physical, in the 3D. I can't see it, so I can't believe it. And you always believed it until maybe you didn't. So you probably had a falling out with your spiritual path, like with your divine energy. And now you're kind of returning to it. So it's not new to you, but it's kind of, it's like going to the gym after the holidays, right? Like it's like you're working muscles that kind of remember what to do, but you just need to be reminded of it, right? You just need names and nomenclature. I try to say, 4 words at once, but names, nomenclature, you need identifiers for all this shit that you've known your whole life, right? And your whole lives, right? Past lives. Like indigo children, they've been here a long time. They're old souls, right? You probably were called an old soul, and it was very cute growing up, but then but it's like nobody wanted to take you seriously, right? So it's all cute when it's playtime, when it's imagination. So maybe you went into like digital stuff. My device auto health check just got completed. Cool. But maybe you went into other ways of sort of just escaping, right? So maybe you went into like the tech world. Maybe you went into playing video games, pornography, stuff that was like superficial because you were taught that the stuff you imagined could never be real, so you could only go off of things that you saw. And now you're really coming back to like going with what you feel, right? You are the heart space, right? And so you're tapping back into that heart space, like children, right? When you think about someone who's been watching stuff on their phone, they're in the tech world, or on Pornhub, or they're, they're in like fucking, playing all kinds of games online. You're in this, like this. You get into a fear-based place, physically. So that obviously affects the chakras. So when you start to open it up, it's like, oh, I like my fingers open and my fingers hurt. Ben Stiller. Well, now your back's gonna hurt too. Your back probably does hurt too, because it's like reworking those muscles. It's like, oh, these are supposed to be open. My toes are not supposed to be cramped up in these little fucking shoes. They want to be like this. We're roots, baby. Like, we need to get out there. We need to not be root bound. We need to just expand and express, and that's where the solar plexus and the heart chakra. So that's all about expression and like inspiration and childlike energy. Kids, when they're born, they walk kind of stupid, but they always walk like on their tippy toes. They're ready. They don't care if they fall, because mom and dad are probably going to catch them, and if not, like they haven't fallen enough to know that it's gonna hurt to fall. So they're just sort of chest out, belly out. They're breathing fully. They're like, they don't care how they look. And then we start to wear the pants, and we start to wear the belts, and we start to wear the bras, and we start to wear the corsets, and we start to like bring ourselves into this place where we're just closing all of that off, and it puts us in a fear-based place, right? Enough conspiracy theory stuff. But like, everything is designed for it, right? From chairs, countertops. Like, why are all the countertops this height? It's so we can hunch over. Why do we have a phone that's so addictive, right? Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine. It's because in that blue light, we're not even looking at the sunlight. We're looking at false light. Everything has become false. So yeah, which is very Leo. You guys are the center of the universe, right? I mean, cosmically, you guys are the center of the universe, but maybe you were like adored as a child. Oh, he's so cute. She's so cute. Look how funny they are. They're so imaginative. And it's like, dance, monkey, dance. And then you did all of these things to, you're usually people pleasers, right? Because you need the planets to orbit you, right? The sun needs the whole solar system. And then it recharges it, but it's really just like, I mean, eventually the sun's gonna die, especially the way that we misuse our planets. But anyway, you guys are, so you needed that attention, that energy, and maybe as you started to get neglected for being authentic, you were like, okay, I'll act, I'll play, I'll put on a show, I'll be false, I'll be fake, I'll be blue light versus sunlight, right? You need yellow, solar plexus, baby, you need that. And there's all this yellow down here, which is great. Okay, so 5 of Cups. Yeah, this is past energy. This is, yeah, and your divine counterpart is going to love you. Like they're going to see you completely. They're going to just love you for your authentic self. They're going to love how weird and how much you are, right? They're going to love how expressive you are. They're going to love how, like, it's going to be home to them. It's going to be the home that they never had either. Because you guys are going to have very similar upbringings, right? A lot of like very cosmic patterns in your life that led you where you are so that you could be together. So you guys are going to, when you sit down, you probably won't even have to talk, which would be very cool. You can just like look at each other and be like, oh, there you are, Peter. The Lost Boys, yeah. Hook. And he is he a Leo or a Gemini? I'm telling you, there might be something in Gemini. Maybe you have a Gemini placement. There's a lot of crossover in Gemini and Leo. As I was telling Gemini, my biological father was a Leo, and the dad who raised me is a Gemini. And so like maybe that speaks to you, I don't know. That's just a little fun fact about me. Okay, so the 5 of Cups is like, yeah, there's this is you, kind of that little child again, going, I'm not listening. I don't want to grow up. Like, I don't want to grow up if that's what I become. Like, maybe your guardians and the adults that you saw around you growing up were like miserable and ugh, they were just sort of really victim mentality. And you were always a you were always a victor. You were always a victor of your reality. And so, yeah, but I feel like there was, like maybe you were just a kid who always knew this and you always went your own way and you didn't have any qualms about not listening to everybody else. But your inner child is not listening to this shit anymore, right? I feel like there was a moment where you did kind of, yeah, you spilled the cups. Like maybe somebody passed away with that rose there. Maybe you lost somebody. But there's again the three, leave it. Thank you. But there's like the 3 goblets there. And it looks kind of, I mean, it's probably wine, but it looks like blood, right? And then here, it's almost like the thorns, and maybe the thorns of the rose, the blood, the 3, something about, I just wanted to mix those up. Something about your bloodline, and you not, you know, maybe you fell into victim mentality. Maybe you were kind of like, woe is me, because that's what you saw around you. And, but your inner child always knew, right? There's a little purplish, indigo-ish color. You were an indigo child. You are an indigo child. Because in Neverland, you don't have to grow up. Justice. Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. Yeah, the toys. Like, I don't know, growing up I didn't really have those things. All of the popular toys, like Toys R Us kids. So it's like the marketing schemes and all that stuff, propaganda, media, all that stuff. Maybe you've just with wands that could be maybe you cut out like your social media. There's a holy trinity and an unholy trinity thing here. Like you're realizing, oh, the sun is not bad. Oh wow, there's this really cool the clouds making this really cool heart shape type thing. But it's kind of spirally. It looks like Tim Burton-y. So, yeah, you're leaving all that behind. Regardless, that's past. Yeah, we spent most of the time talking about that. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Okay, what's coming in? Justice, the Star. Like, you're back on track, baby. You got it. Like, you're back. Queen of Swords. Gemini had the King of Swords in this same placement. Alright, 7 of Pentacles. So, yeah, these are seeds that you're watching grow. These are seeds, that were, you are the seed, right? Seeds that you planted, they're growing. You're sitting back and finally watching them and going, oh, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I put some seeds in this spot here, right, in this garden. So maybe you're starting a garden, right? Gardening is a far more fulfilling pastime than social media. I will tell you that, right? So, so maybe, yeah, just listening to like frequency music, things without a lot of words, right? I feel like the words, labyrinth, she's going to say the words, right? The words are like curse. I mean, spells are spelling. It's called spelling because we cast spells with our words. Our words are really powerful. But there is something about, yeah, like, I want to say be careful of words you wish for. I mean, I just said it, but that's not really, it's not you. It's you were surrounded by curses. Okay, so when somebody tells you a lie long enough, you believe it. You take it on as your truth, right? So maybe people told you like, oh, you're hyperactive. Oh, you have anger management issues. And it's like, no, you're just a passionate, misunderstood child who had to act out for attention because you got neglected for being your authentic self. So you decided to, what kids do, get the fucking attention, however you need to get it. All attention is good attention. So there's something about like, I don't know, maybe like your love language is maybe like acts of service or quality time. But there was not a lot of action with those you grew up around. There was only, and with past lovers or anything like that, maybe you were sort of like waiting on them hand and foot. Maybe you did all the work. Maybe you got all the gifts. Maybe you were neglected of your love language as a child. There's a book, The 5 Love Languages, and that's for adults, but there's also the 5 Love Languages of Children. So it's pretty, it's just 2 lizards just doing it up. Get it, girl and guy. He's expressing himself. His little beard is coming out. His bright orange beard. Yeah, who needs porn? You got lizards doing it on your windowsill. So the 7 of Pentacles is like maybe you practice silence. If not, I highly recommend it, because for someone whose words of affirmation, as someone who words of affirmation are like, they've almost become, when people tell me something, when they give, I have a hard time taking compliments. Maybe you have a hard time taking compliments or like receiving good news or anything like that, or there's just a lot of chatter, a lot of information or whatever, and you just don't want to, if that's what's coming in, it's like prana, it's like breath. You breathe it in and then you exhale it. So whatever is in your external environment, you're going to breathe that shit in, right? So if you're looking at nasty stuff all day, you're looking at stuff that's just toxic, you're going to take that in, and then that's what's going to come out. So maybe just like practicing some silence, or just doing things that, and I get that kind of impression, like when you see your divine counterpart, when you meet them, or when you guys meet, there's not going to be very much chatter. There's not going to be a lot of talking. Like those lizards. I do feel a lot of passion. I mean, there will be a lot of passion. And it will be tantric, and it will be divine, and it will just be like the connection that you've been longing for your whole life. And for lifetimes, like you've just been like not getting it anywhere. I really don't like this 5 of Cups. There was some just like this toxic energy around you growing up that was just really vampiric. It just drained you. It just like took all your blood, all of your life force, right? And you just sort of like, so the fact that you've moved on from this 6 of Swords, this Chariot energy, this 2 of Wands, like, look at you, you're like, bye. You're burying it's like you're also maybe burying the garlic too. Like, you don't need to defend yourself anymore. You know you're divinely protected. You know it's coming. Now that you're back on the path, like you kind of just were off the path for a while. You got distracted. Maybe you got some poison ivy. You were just really off the path, and you were like, hello, can anybody hear me? Titanic, you know, is anybody out there? Can anyone hear me? And then, oh no, and then Leo, who's a Scorpio. It didn't turn out good for him. Spoiler alert. But Rose, like, maybe you're painting rose bushes. Don't paint the roses red. That's false. You're growing fucking red roses. You're growing them. And that's here, see? This red rose, like, you're growing the roses. So yeah, start with a little herb garden in the windowsill. Repurpose everything that you can. Like, start with what you have, the produce that you have. Take the seeds, save the seeds, and start just keeping your jars, keeping your containers, whatever, food containers, and just use that. Beans, if you want to feel good about being a gardener, put some beans in soil, right? That's why they let kids do that, so that kids don't feel like bags of shit because they can't grow anything. Beans will grow in anything, right? And they're also good because they're nitrogen fixers for the soil. So it's good to plant beans with anything that you're planting, because even if you cut them, they decompose. The nutrients in their roots are great for the soil as they decompose, and then the other plants will just get a nice little nitrogen fix, right? So put some beans out there. Like, when you start to see something grow, it's like the best feeling ever. It's so empowering. This is homesteading energy, right? Maybe herbology, right? Botany, not Botox, right? Queen of Swords, this is you cutting that shit out. That's self-explanatory, right? Again, you could be dealing with an air sign. We have the King of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Swords, right? And if this is past partnerships, and they probably looked a lot like whatever bullshit you grew up in, because they just tend to do that until it all clicks together and you go, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm purifying all this, and I'm cutting all this out, and I'm burying the hatchet, and I'm cutting these cords, and I'm realigning my chakras, and I'm getting in the elements, and I'm just divine as fuck. This is you going, I'm only accepting my King of Pentacles, right? And King of Pentacles is a very grounded, stable energy, right? Slow and steady. This person is here till the end, right? P.S. I love you. I love you till the end. Another Scorpio. I don't know. There's just endings. A lot of Scorpionic energy for not having any Scorpio stuff here. But Gemini did get the Tower and Death. So they got two Scorpionic cards to clarify each other, actually. So lots of endings coming up, right? So I don't think that they're here because I think that you've already ended them. That's the Chariot. That's the Six of Swords. You're moving the fuck on from all of this, and you're in this place where you're just like doing you. You're just planting seeds, watching them grow, and not listening to anybody else, right? But those seeds are going to bear major fruit. And then there's that star. Yeah, you are the star. Aquarius, Libra, with Justice and the star. This is your karmic justice. The star is everything that you wish for. This is your twin flame. This is your divine counterpart, whatever you call them, you know, your divine soulmate. This is your person. Like, because you're in this energy, because you're on this path, you know, now you guys can meet up. You were lost, and then you found each other, right? Is that Amazing Grace? And this is going to be, yeah, Grace. Maybe that name means something to you. Someone asked me the other day if my mom's name was Grace. It's not, but they knew somebody with my same last name, so they were like, is your mom Grace? I'm like, no, but I wish she were. So this is the Amazing Grace. This is like, you already came here for this. This is why you wanted to be incarnated. This is what you asked for, the star. This is what you came here for, right? Yeah, there's earth and water. The star, they're watering both. They're watering the earth and they're putting water back into the water. So this is filling your own cup, right? Your own little body of water. And then, so hydrate as well. And then also hydrating, maybe setting up like a little irrigation system. Anyway, that's my to-do list, jumping into your reading. But they're watering the earth. Could be dealing with an earth sign. Again, yeah, there's, you know, you're only wanting, you're working on, you're in this energy of earth. Getting into that earth energy. And yeah, maybe you're remothering as well. Like, that's been a common theme. And then the Chariot also. You could have a Cancer moon, because with the water and the earth here, I have a Cancer moon, so I'm just throwing that out there. Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, and the Moon. Again, more moon energy. Wheel of Fortune, fixed energy, and the Emperor, major arcana. Like you're done with a lot of the minor arcana. And the King of Pentacles again. So there it is, 7. And see, there's that blood again. You're like purifying your blood, your bloodline. Ooh, you're gonna create so much with this person. Then there are 10 of Cups. You got your little family. This little bobbin on your shoulder there, holding money. Maybe they're a Taurus. They come in right at the gate, entitled to money. And then the King of Pentacles, again, to confirm that. So, you're on it like a bonnet. You guys are, it's all coming in. Just keep doing what you're doing, right? And just don't listen to these motherfuckers. I wish you well.